Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Akshay.
How are
Okay,
you, ma'am?
I'm okay, I'm fine. We have one more session like to
Ma'am,
complete.
last of neural control and coordination. I think disorders we haven't done.
There is no disorders in this chapter. There are only like the last one that we have to learn
Ma'am,
is
last time we did neural arc.
and we
Reflex
also did
arc.
the I and
Yeah,
uh,
I where it's focused at FVA or something.
so yeah, we study the structure of I and all these things. Now today we will finish it with ear and that's it. The chapter is over with that. Mm. Like here also, like I told you, questions related to rod cones, bipolar cells and all comes same way from here also. There is one set of questions that regularly they ask repeatedly. If you practice many papers, you will see that. Okay, so that also I'll tell you. Yeah, again she's not picking up for the call. why why
Ma'am,
why does she do this?
I'm today's CSK maths, that's why.
She's on another call.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
For today's CSK match, that's why she'll be busy.
Sh- yeah, right. CSK maths is very important. Yes, you're right. When did we start? When did you join? At what time did you join?
7:30, like 7:39.
Okay. Because sometimes the timing you give and the timing I give are like different.
Oh, I will ask John.
Even few minutes add up, and then they gave me the wrong payment last time.
I as soon as I join, I enter it off.
Mm-mm. I enter it as soon as I join. So
Yeah, that's
uh
the difference probably.
okay. Fine. So before let her come by, then I'll just give you a rough introduction. When we talk about the year, okay, the main things that as a question point of view that you need to understand is there the three bones that are present in the ear.
Hmm.
Okay, which is malleus, incus, stapes.
Well, you have taught me this, I think, from order of outside to inside. I think, ma'am, you have taught me
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I have taught you this and I have told you the shape of these bones.
Oh, a horseshoe.
One is horseshoe, another is stirrup shape, and another should be hammer shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and out of this, the smallest bone is stapes. We learned it in
Staples.
locomotion chapter.
Ma'am, malice is hammer shaped.
Hmm.
Staples, I think, is horseshoe shaped.
Hmm.
And the other one is, yeah, staples is, I think, horseshoe shaped.
Hmm. Sure.
And incus is, wait, no, incus is, ma'am, no, ma'am. See, malice is hammer shaped.
Hmm.
Anvil shaped is incus.
Okay, fine. Stapes is horseshoe shape.
Horseshoe.
Uh, or the stirrup shape. Okay. So that so basically what happens is that your ear is divided into three parts: outer ear, inner ear, and the middle ear.
Hmm.
Okay. So this three bones that we are talking about, that is malleus, incus, stapes, they are
Hmm.
located in the middle ear.
Hmm.
Okay. So your outer ear basically constitutes your pinna.
Hmm.
That is the one that is on the outer. So
Hmm.
what is the major function of this pinna is to collect vibrations from everywhere.
Hmm.
Okay. In different organisms, the pinna is of different shape.
Hmm.
So if you take the elephant's pinna is very, very large, no?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So and elephant also has the ability to move its ears on its
Hmm.
own
Oh, yeah,
without
they clap.
touching it. Yes. Why that is because of a presence of a muscle called as auricular muscle.
Auricular muscle.
Yes, auricular muscle. Now you can ask, like, we have that muscle?
No.
Yes, we do have,
Oh.
but it is a vestigial organ.
Oh.
Okay, so that is the evolution relationship, like the
That's
mammals.
appendix.
Yes, like appendix. Yes, one of the vestigial organs is auricular muscle, which is there in the ear pinna.
Like it
For
will be
us,
there
it
in
is
apes
vestigial.
and all, but not in us.
Yeah. So basically, that muscle will help in the movement of the pinna.
Hmm.
Okay. So that is about pinna. So once that is done, then the sound waves will travel through and will go to the bone part. So the bone part will work something like your. Have you seen these automatic drums?
Hmm.
The automatic drums in the temple and all, it will be there. Have you seen that?
Automatic drum zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There
they
will be
do hitting randomly on their own.
randomly on their own with the help of a motor.
Hmm.
So basically, your bones are also like that. Once the air is reaching it, what will happen? It will start vibrating. So as and when it starts vibrating, the end of these three bones is attached to the eardrum. So the eardrum will start vibrating.
Hmm.
Okay. And when that starts vibrating, the vibrations is now sent to the inner ear.
Hmm.
Your inner ear is responsible for two things. One
Hmm.
is for hearing and another is for balancing.
Hearing.
And balancing.
Hmm.
So you might like there are some people who used to like who finds it very difficult. Like say for example, you're closing your eyes and rotating very fast. When you open your eyes, it takes you some time to balance yourself, no?
Oh, yeah, like weird shade feeling.
Yes, why that is happening is that is a time that your ear is taking to balance.
Hmm.
So your ear actually plays a major role in balancing your body.
So what if you're deaf?
That is nothing to do with the deafness.
Oh.
See, I'll tell you, hearing is because of certain cells,
Hmm.
okay, that are present. So when we learn the structure, you will understand. But this is because of a certain fluid that is present within the ear.
Hmm.
That is the inner ear. Okay, so the balancing of the fluid is basically helping you balance and stand straight. So some people feel dizzy, okay, not because of just their blood pressure. It might be because of this ear problem.
Hmm.
So like there is no very big medicine for this, but there are some exercises which helps in curing this problem.
Hmm.
Okay, so your inner ear is like mm, okay, you can compare it to a Kinder Joy. Okay, like in your Kinder Joy, if you see outside is little bit hard and inside is soft chocolate. No,
Hmm.
same way your inner ear also has a structure wherein outside is very hard. Okay,
Hmm.
it's bony. But whereas if you see the inside of that bone, it will be little membranous.
Hmm.
Like it will be softer.
Like in the outer ear only.
No, this is present in the inner ear.
Hmm.
Okay, so outer ear is nothing but your pinna and a
Yeah,
canal.
the visible part of the ear is pinna.
Yes, yes. And there's a canal that runs to the middle
Ear
ear.
canal.
Yes. The middle ear is basically going to have the three bones.
Hmm.
Okay, and that will be like
Alice,
connected to the. Yes, your eardrum is actually the one which is the tympanic membrane is the one which is separating your inner ear and the middle ear.
Middle ear.
And there is also a opening from your middle ear to your throat.
Hmm.
That opening is only called as Eustachian tube. We have seen this before.
Eustachian tube.
Yes, you remember?
Digestion.
Yes, digestion. I even told you when you're feeling like your ears are blocked, you just need to yawn. So that time when you do that, your Eustachian tube will open and the pressure will be released.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when you go in flight and all, due to the pressure
Yeah.
difference. Okay. So this is the basic structure, whatever I told you right now. The remaining I can explain by only showing or drawing, which I am not able to do right now. I'll just try calling her once again.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
She's on another call for such a long time.
I
I'm not
wonder.
able to reach her. Okay, cool. Then we'll do one thing. Till she comes, let's not waste time. Let's open the MTG book.
Ma'am, you create a meeting. I will join you.
Anyway, she will join now. No.
So much time is left. That's why.
some 10 minutes is there. That's why I said you wanted to do last class questions of reproductive health and all. No.
Oh yeah, 12th grade.
Uh-huh. You'll do that. Why to waste time?
Okay, ma'am. Then again, screen sharing. No, for that I'll only
No,
join.
no. We'll open, both of us will open MTG together.
Okay, Finder,
Where is that
MTG.
MTG thingy? I sent it in the
Wait,
group.
which page is reproductive health? Wait.
First I have to find that group.
Reproductive health is in page number.
Are
Ma'am,
you?
it's in page number. This thing.
I,
Found it. Page number, chapter 26, page number 313.
okay. Hey, wait, Pandra. First, let me
Page
find.
304 of the book, 303. Sorry, 303.
Yeah, I'm happy, but let me find the book first.
I've become
I'll
such a
find
pro
it.
at this.
Oh,
Ma'am, choose any chapter from 12th, ma'am. I know everything except molecular base of inheritance.
Why?
Because that one I have to revise on my own. Like I
Oh,
forgot difference between transcription, translation. And all. One is
oh,
polymerization of amino acids to form protein. Another one is formation of DNA from DNA template or something. Messenger, some mRNA from DNA template or something like that.
why you get confused?
No, ma'am, I forgot. So my tutor taught me once. So I remembered all that Messelson stall experiment. The genetic material is DNA. Hershey Chase experiment.
Cheese, chase.
Hershey Chase, no, ma'am. Chase only I told.
What you do when you have? What do you mean by when you're translating something to someone?
Translation is this thing, no, ma'am. Changing from this language to this language.
Exactly. So basically, what you're doing is when you're translating, you're making that person understand what that is.
It's basically this thing mRNA. It's the polymerization of amino acids to form proteins, no.
Your definition, solram paara. Our body understands proteins. Our body doesn't understand
Amino
codons.
acid.
Yeah. So the codons have to be converted to amino acids or protein. That is
Translation is
translation.
that initiation, elongation, termination, initiation, those things.
That
No,
is transcription.
no, that is translation. No.
Initiation, elongation.
Yeah, tRNA structure. That is translation only. No.
Initiation, elongation is
Translation. That methionine, the codes to specific methionine, that 40S subunit.
capping, tailing, all those things only are telling, no?
Initiation, elongation, termination.
That's what, that is translation, no?
Translation only we're talking about, no.
Hey, wait, what are you saying? Initiation, elongation?
Ma'am, that is, sorry, transcription that is.
Transcription only, That is what I was wondering. What is this guy
Capping,
saying?
splicing, all of that is in translation, sorry.
Capping?
No, that is also there in translation only. Transcription.
One is in prokaryote, another is in eukaryote.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am, we'll not do the chapter. I told you, no, ma'am. Other than that chapter, you ask anything. That chapter,
important concept.
I know. One day, study properly that chapter.
Sorry, okay. I'll just randomly pick up one question. Okay. Let me find out. Oh shit! I went to the molecular basis directly.
Bye, ma'am. That is the hardest.
I don't know. I just randomly scrolled and went there. Wait. My favorite chapter. I'll just go to that.
Which is your favorite chapter? Tell me also.
I like teaching reproductive health a lot.
It's so easy.
It's easy. It's not about being easy. There is a lot of social aspect to it. That is okay. You asked, no, I don't know. I don't know if you have observed this or not. So earlier there were hospitals. Now also there were hospitals. But if you watch TV, now the ad for fertility hospitals has increased randomly. Like so much it has increased. It's just like any other brand. Like in my street itself, the next 3 streets, I have 2 fertility centers. Why is that so? Why this sudden race? Like in the past 5 years.
Reproductive health.
No.
Because more people are not fertile.
Exactly. Why people not fertile as
because of lifestyle changes.
Exactly. Especially the ones like working in the IT industry, and right now that to work from home, things have changed. So people are running faster in that the health is getting a hit. So the
Yes.
need for such kind of facilities increased, and also many people are opening up to these things. Earlier, it was a taboo. If you're
Like if
going
you don't
to,
know, everyone will look at you like, oh,
exactly, there is something wrong with this person, but nothing is wrong in going to fertility center. You're just helping yourself. That's just like any other problem that your body has. So these kind of things, no, people just don't understand. So that is why I like teaching, because when I teach, I take all the social concerns also.
man, we are the modern generation. Everyone will understand in our generation.
No, that's the saddest part.
This is that one generation before us. That gap is that much.
Mm, no, that is the thing. No, like amongst you people also, there are so many kids who don't know anything, and they also grow in this patriarchal society where the typical taboo societies, so they are only used to that part. If I go and tell this, they will look at me like aliens. So yeah, it's still not very this one.
Okay,
That's
ma'am. You
because
asked me any question.
you're
I
in
will answer.
a metropolitan city, okay, and you have seen a lot of things, so you have better exposure. But think about a person who comes from a second tier or a third tier city.
Oh yeah, true.
Their life is only studying and all.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
how's Corona in your state?
Uh, okay.
Our chief
What is the
minister.
work of copper tea?
Oh, ma'am, that Cu plus ion suppresses sperm motility. It is a this thing. It is a contraceptive device used to prevent fertilization.
Okay, fine. But the options here is there. Yes, inhibit fertilization is there. Okay,
They suppress. Second question only is a function of copper ions in copper releasing IUDs. They suppress sperm motility and fertilizing capacity of sperm.
very good.
Uterus
Tablets to
unsuitable for
prevent.
implantation is there's this thing, those hormones, and
Hmm,
and then the normal ones they inhibit ovulation or
okay,
inhibit gametogenesis.
very good. Now, tablets to prevent male contraception contains progesterone, FSH, LH, both B and C.
Both no LH it has, FSH it has. Ma'am, what are the options?
Tablets to prevent male contraception.
Meaning like
Uh,
to prevent male contraception, meaning like females who take the tablet. Oh,
no, males.
oh, okay.
Progesterone, LH, FSH, both B and C.
FSH and LH, ma'am.
Correct. Only those two can
Progesterone is for
prevent.
females. Progesterone is for females.
Yes, but the question here was prevent male contraception. So that
So
means,
FSH and LH.
yes, which will motivate the production of sperm. That is LH and FSH.
Mhm.
Then let me go to random chapter. Oh yes. Uh, 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 uh. The mechanism that causes a gene to move
Hmm.
from one linkage group to another is called
Options.
inversion, duplication, translocation, crossing over.
Is this some molecular basis?
No, it's from Principles of Inheritance.
Wait, what? What is the
This is
question?
NEET 2016 question.
What is the question?
Okay, let me repeat. The mechanism that causes a gene to move from one linkage group to another
This is
is called.
translocation.
Okay, very good. Then,
I know full Mendel's law. You'll ask no.
no, not that bad and all. I will ask something else. Which idea is depicted by a cross in which F1 generation resembles both the parents?
It
Again,
is this thing. Incomplete no codominance.
what is the difference between codominance and incomplete dominance?
Incomplete is both of them expressed partially, and you will get resultant different intermediate. You will get.
Okay, and what is
Codominance is when both of them
codominance?
express themselves equally, like AB blood group.
Okay. What did you say?
What is the question? I told codominance.
Correct. Okay. Down syndrome is in human is due to
Trisomy of 21st chromosome.
Okay. Trisomy of X chromosome in female. You know which disorder it leads to?
Klinefelter syndrome.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Klinefelter's is in male, not in female.
Sorry, Turner.
Turner is absence, not extra.
Oh, then I don't know. It's not there in textbook.
It's called triple X syndrome.
Triple X.
Yes, because already 2X is there in female's X chromosome. Now one extra X means triple X. No.
No, but this is not there in NCERT, no?
Yes, but learn it. There's no harm in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's just one extra small information, not content heavy.
Ma'am, you'll send me some 12th grade mock paper. I'll keep writing.
For board.
No, for this thing, for NEET.
Okay.
Ma'am, Byju's has some test program. I can join, like how Akash has those 1 month test programs.
Test programs frankly speaking, I would say don't join. Because we don't have test programs as such. If you're joining, they'll ask you to join along with the course. Anyway, you're going for Akash's. No, Akash and Byju's now are fused together. And there is some
Akash
new.
or Alan, ma'am. I don't go for anything.
Yeah, no, but no, there's a new app also called Byju's Akash app.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have purchased Akash also. So
I know
right
that.
now,
They bought
yeah.
Akash and one more thing, no?
You can actually do one thing. You can simply write mock test. I'll forward you a message. Like these are not like this one. This is actually for the admission sake. They are taking NEET mock test. So you can simply attend it and no need to enroll and all.
And the thing is, I want to join Akash or Alan because they'll have proper those only CBSE questions, for current NEET. Like online, if I go and search NEET question papers, all past year question papers, so much questions which is not even there in my book are coming.
No. What anyway, see, any places you go, I'll tell you, Alan and Akash, if you go, no, their materials is gonna freak you out more than anything else.
Yeah, they still haven't updated. I saw.
Exactly.
Still
Yeah.
it's the old thing.
So yeah, I'll just forward you. I also get these messages from Byju's. No, because I've enrolled as student. So maybe you can just go attend a mock test simply, just to know where you stand, how you stand.
Only 12th I want to do as of now. For 360, I write only 12th.
Yeah.
90%.
Apparently, top 100 students in the mock test will get a free crash course, it seems. Can give it a try.
I'll prepare fully and write that.
Yeah, try. It's in April only. Like this, they'll keep conducting. Okay, now then. Don't worry. You guys are also going to suffer just like the previous batch.
The thing is, many people won't repeat, I think, because this year only so much time is there. They'll also write off this year only.
Yeah, that's there. Okay, tell me, capacitation occurs in?
Capacitation, What is that?
That's the most important step.
Capacitation?
Yes.
Which chapter is it?
Human reproduction.
Capacitation is from human reproduction,
Yes, and this is a NEET 2017 question.
From which part of textbook? I've never seen that word in NCERT textbook.
Okay, so basically what happens is the sperm, once it enters into the female reproductive tract, it will basically the sperm that comes from the male reproductive tract is not viable to fuse. Okay, it has to undergo further maturation, and that further maturation will happen once it enters into the female reproductive tract. And that process,
this is not there in according to this way. Like when the sperm is about to fuse, it undergoes secondary meiotic division and it forms another polar body.
That is there is one step where it matures further, and that step is called as capacitation.
Whoa.
So it occurs in the female reproductive tract. Write it down somewhere and keep it. It's important.
So what are the options there?
Epididymis, vas deferens, female reproductive tract, rete testis.
Female reproductive tract.
Yes, that's the answer. It's not a very long ago question, 2017 paper.
Like when the sperm is about to fuse, first it comes in contact with zona pellucida, then it induces changes. It will block other sperms to fuse. So only one sperm. Then the dark chromosome will help it enter the cytoplasm. And then the meiotic division will complete. So secondary oocyte will be found and polar body will be.
Secondary oocyte.
Like secondary oocyte will complete its polar division and secondary polar body will be formed.
Yeah. So that is the thing that you have to understand. A secondary polar body will not be formed. Ra.
Ma'am,
Secondary oocyte will be converted to ovum.
No, ma'am, wait 1 second. Secondary. Ma'am, the
Secondary oocyte.
secondary, see, this induces completion of meiotic division of the secondary oocyte. The
Ah,
the second meiotic division is also unequal, results in formation of ovum and polar body.
You said it results in the formation of secondary oocyte and
Oh,
secondary
sorry.
polar
Secondary
body.
oocyte will result in
Ah,
formation of ovum.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell is. Okay, so remember about capacitation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, uh, because see, like one other method of preparation is by referring other papers. So there are high chances that they can ask even if it's not there in the textbook because it was previously asked. And these were topics that were covered previously. So don't ignore because this is not uh, aims or something. It's neat paper only. So yeah, no, I hope you won't forget this.
I just have to get used to avoiding questions which I don't know.
Exactly,
Even try.
exactly. Exactly. Like, don't see that question and it's like, I have not seen this in textbook. Why should I study? Don't do that. What if that question comes? Because these people are crazy. They keep changing rules. Eppa venalo. You have to be prepared for whatever it is. So don't study so much, but at least study the ones that were asked before. Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Ma'am,
where
do you
is the
have like a
next?
bundle of mock tests which I can just keep using?
I have questions separately, but I don't have it as a test paper as such.
Like as in?
The test papers I have is also like what to say, like uh there are different set of questions. I
If I
have to
don't know, I
keep
leave
them.
it off. Only whatever I know, I'll answer.
Okay, I'll get it done by this week or so, and I'll give it to you.
Like if it's not that you only put into there, so I won't even like look at it if it won't even come. Like if you're sort like some extra question. Like
That
if
is
it's
not a problem.
something that's out of the questions but will might come for need, those all I'll do off. Like some things that won't even come,
I'll
those all questions I'll just avoid it there. So whatever I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'll write only for 12th. Like I decided I'll keep practicing 12th every 2 days once.
That's a good thing.
So 12th I won't lose
Mm,
touch for my boards in if at all I have boards.
did she make me the host?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you are the host.
Oh, great.
Board exams in June, it seems. Some piss off that is.
They will tell you in June.
Yeah, 2,70,000 corona case means no board exams. But I don't want to take the
uh,
risk, man. This corona, no, suddenly it decreases fully. Entire
yeah.
lockdown, it was increasing. Entire time when everyone was out on the streets, it was decreasing. Now it's increasing.
It's because it was increasing and no one paid attention. What to do? Okay.
Now it's 2 lakh,
Where is
2
it?
lakh,
Yes.
2 lakh plus, I think it is. 2,70,000 or 2,60,000 today.
Okay. So let's just start with the ear part directly. I've already given you the introduction to it. Ear has three parts: outer, middle, and inner.
Here, out middle
Okay.
ear and this thing is connected by the eustachian, no, eardrum.
Yeah. So this is the outer part. So if you see here, this is the pinna. This region is the pinna, which you can see, and this is the canal. The canal is also known as meatus,
What?
auditory meatus.
Auditory meatus.
Meatus, yes. And it has a wax-like structure, which is called the ear wax.
Coax.
Okay. Ear wax also has another name. It starts with C. What is
See,
that name? Yeah, it starts with C. Seri something. 1 second. I forgot the name. Cerumen. Yes, cerumen. Yes, that's the name. Am I right? Earwax, another name. Cerumen.
cerumen.
Is it cerumen? Yes, cerumen. Yes. So the what you put ear, like you put this earbuds and all, no? And then you take out that yellow or some dark color.
That's ear wax.
Yes, that's earwax. Earwax is actually to protect your ear, but too much of it also is not good for your ear.
Yeah.
Yes. So earwax is also known as cerumen. Remember the term.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And then your ear is not like plain. It has tiny hairs that are present. Okay. And yes. So the thing is that the ear meatus is or the auditory meatus is going to connect your pinna and the middle ear.
Mm.
Okay. So apart from that, you have the eardrum. Okay. So the
Mm.
eardrum is also actually a part of the outer ear.
Mm.
Okay. So what is this eardrum? We always say eardrum. Drum means you should not think that it's some solid substance. It's actually a membrane.
Mm.
Okay. So this membrane, what is this made up of? It is basically made up of connective tissues.
Mm.
And outside it will have a skinny texture, but inside it is membranous.
1 second, ma'am. 1 second. Let this MTG paper keeps coming. Yes, ma'am. The ear
Okay.
membrane.
Yes, you can see that this portion here.
The gray
That's
color.
your, yes. So basically what happens is that you have your this one. That is the outer pinna. Then you have the meatus. Meatus will reach the eardrum. So when the air is hitting the drum, that is a membrane, no. So automatically it
Mm.
will start vibrating. That
Mm.
vibration is passed on further to actually your malleus incus stapes.
Mm.
And then it will hit something called as the oval window, which will lead to the inner ear.
Mm.
Okay, so this is how the vibration works. Okay.
The malleus
Yes.
incus stapes, then the inner ear.
Yes, then the inner ear. Okay. So first what happens? Your outer ear is basically consisting of three things. One is the
Pinna,
pinna,
meatus,
meatus, and then
ear canal.
eardrum.
Eardrum.
Meatus is nothing but your canal, ear canal.
Ah.
Okay. So that is why when you put any sharp objects, they keep telling, no, be careful, be careful.
The ear drum might.
Yes, because directly the next thing that you're hitting is on the eardrum.
Mm.
And if that doesn't vibrate, then your entire ear will not work. So you won't be able to
F.
hear. Okay. Now we come to the middle ear. So as I said,
Oh,
malleus,
malleus stapes incus. Malleus
malleus
first.
incus stapes.
Stapes.
This is the order.
First is malleus, then it is
Hmm.
incus, then it is stapes.
Who's attached to
MIS.
the eardrum?
Malleus.
So who receives the vibration first?
Malleus.
Who passes this vibration to the
Incus.
inner ear?
Incus.
No, inner ear.
Oh, stapes. Stapes.
Stapes, yes, and middle is incus. Incus connects both malleus and stapes.
Stapes.
They are also known as ear ossicles.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes, and what is the function of ear ossicles? They basically increase the frequency of transmission. Okay, or the efficiency of transmission, basically. Okay, that is the function of malleus incus stapes. So if I zoom into the image, it will look like this. Okay, now the so basically, if I draw this, okay, so if you see, this is the outer ear. 1 second, where can I draw? Yeah, here. This is the pinna. Okay, so from here there is this canal going. Okay, yeah, ear canal. Then this entire part will be your outer ear. Then you have the tympanic membrane. Then you have some bone structure like this, correct? Let's imagine that the bone structure are inside this box. Now, this will be your middle ear. Okay. Now what is going to happen is there will be two windows, okay? One will be up, another will be down. Okay. And these two windows are basically, the top one is called oval window, bottom one is called round window. You won't find this in the textbook and you'll also not find it in the PPT. That's why I'm telling you like this. Okay, so you would have seen this structure called cochlear structure, a snail-like structure. Here, can you see this? This structure? Okay, so basically, if I take this structure and I make it into a U-tube, it will come like this. It will look like a U-tube with two openings. One on the top, another at the bottom. The top one is called as oval window and the bottom one is called as round window.
So when you join those windows, you get like a U-tube.
No, I'm not going to join these windows. So basically what will happen is if you're taking this U-tube separately, it will look like a structure like this, like a cochlea, like a snail-like structure. So that snail-like structure, like this kind of a structure, what we are right now doing is we are just stretching it. So when I stretch it, I get a U-tube like this. There will be two openings, one at the top, one at the bottom. Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be like a
Whatever.
cochlea, but when you used to open it, like it'll be
Yeah.
like full circle, but when you stretch it, you'll get like a U shape.
Yeah, you can make it into a U shape, means you will see two openings. So what I'm trying to say you is, even though this particular structure here looks like a snail, but it has two openings. Okay, openings to where? To the middle ear.
Clear.
Okay, so what is the difference between the oval window and the round window? That I will tell you. Oval window is basically the entry, and round window will be the exit.
Exit.
Okay, that is the sound wave will pass from the middle ear to the inner ear via oval window.
Ma'am, what?
The sound wave, okay, basically will pass from, this is the middle ear, this is the inner ear, it will pass through the round window.
It'll pass
Sorry,
through
oval
the
window. Oh, sorry, oval window.
Oh, what? Oval.
Okay. Yeah, oval, the one that was on the top.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is the U-tube means. Okay, the air is going to enter through the oval window, come out through the remaining air, whatever after the vibration is left out, is going to come out through round window. This difference is understood?
Yes, ma'am. It'll enter
Okay,
through
so
the
till
whole
now what you
window.
understood, tell me.
Ma'am, it'll enter through the whole window.
No, from the beginning of the outer ear.
See, ma'am, pinna will collect all sound waves.
Okay.
Then it'll go to ear canal.
Okay.
Then it'll lead to vibration of eardrum.
Okay.
Then from eardrum to inner ear, eardrum to middle ear, malice is there attached to it. Then malice, they'll go to incus, then incus will go to stapes.
Okay.
Stapes is attached to the oval window, like snail shape thing.
Very good.
The oval window may seem like it's cochlea in shape.
Yeah, it's a cochlea. Basically, that structure is called cochlea.
But then when you stretch it, it becomes U-shaped.
Yeah, we can make it into U shape.
The upper window is called oval window, the down window is called round window.
Yes.
The oval window collects the sound and takes it to the inner ear. Remaining air comes out of the round wave.
Okay, very good. Yes.
That's all.
Now, what happens next in the inner ear? That is what we're going to see. Okay, as I told you, your inner ear is outers will be hard, but inner will be membranous.
Membranous.
Okay. Yes, membranous. That means what? It will be little soft.
Soft.
Okay. Let's say something like your skin. Okay, but the outer part will be hard. So the hard region is called as bony labyrinth.
Hard region is bony.
Labyrinth. Okay, so yeah, see, they have just taken this particular cochlea portion alone and they have put it here. Can you see? The yellow portion or the skin colored portion is the bony labyrinth. Okay, so that is the hard part. But if you see towards the inner of it, inside of
the pink color part.
Yes, the pink color part, that is going to be membranous. And we are going to call it membranous labyrinth.
Membranous labyrinth, okay.
So inner ear has two layers, outer
bony labyrinth.
And inner
membranous labyrinth.
Now you can see in this like headphone like structures. Can you see? Here, this one, this thing, pink color region. It looks like a headphone, no?
Yeah, correct.
Yes. So basically there will be three headphone like structures.
Yeah, one is there, another one is like from left to top.
Yes.
Where's the third, ma'am? Oh yeah, got it. Three are there.
Yes.
One is sharing common ear with one more.
Yeah. So they will be arranged at like 90 degrees to each other.
Yeah, correct. True.
Okay. Now this swollen portion of this structure is called ampulla.
Ampulla.
Yeah, it's this one, this thing here, no, the swollen portion. It's called as ampulla. Okay. Now I'll tell you what is the significance of this part. Okay. Let's go to that first. So these are called as semicircular canals. These headphone-like structures, they are called as semicircular canals, and the one that is swollen at the end is called as ampulla.
Hmm.
Okay, and it has two sac-like structure here.
Hmm.
Can you see the sac here and this sac here?
Yes, ma'am.
These two are called as utriculus and saculus, or utricle and saculus.
Hmm.
So
Utricle and saccule.
yes, utricle and saccule are two sac-like structure.
Hmm.
Okay, and your saccule is connected to the cochlea.
Cochlea is which?
The snail portion is cochlea.
Hmm. Labyrinth,
Okay.
some outer labyrinth.
No, not the outer labyrinth. The entire portion is bony. Okay. Now what they have done here is they have actually shown you one small part. Avladhan. Like they have just shown you that inside, if you open this bony labyrinth, it will look like this. Okay. I will also show you if I open this particular cochlea, how it will look. So if you open this cochlea, can you see this image here?
Yes,
Akshay?
ma'am. That
So
small construct that
yes,
is there inside the snail. Oh.
yes, inside the snail.
Hmm.
Okay, so don't think that. So whatever that yellow part is going to cover the entire inner ear. The what is like there inside is what we are seeing. So one part we are first what we saw was there are three semicircular canals.
Yeah,
So
then
this
the
will
parts are
be
called ampulla. They're like earphones.
yes, and then they are connected to two sacs called as utricle and
Utricle and
saculus,
saccular.
and saculus is further connected to your cochlea,
Cochlea is which? The snail.
the snail. Yes, the snail portion.
And which
Okay.
is the labyrinth?
The labyrinth is there are two labyrinths. Labyrinth is basically the covering. Outer is bony, inner is what is it called? Membranous.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so what is the function of the semicircular canals and this utricle saculus together are called as vestibular apparatus.
Vestibular apparatus.
Yes, very important. Right now, what I'm going to say is like a repeated question. So remember this.
Utricle and sacculus together are called?
Utricle saculus, then your three semicircular canals are there, no?
Yeah, those right angles.
Yes, they all are
And
together called
ampulla.
as vestibular. Ampulla is anyway a part of that
So the semicircular
semicircular.
canals and the utricle and the saccula
Saculus
are
is
called together are called the vestibular apparatus.
exactly, and the major function of them is balancing.
Balancing, but not hearing.
No, they are majorly involved in balancing than hearing, because the hearing related part is actually done by the cochlea. Okay, so what will be the answer for this question? Which part of the ear is not associated with hearing, but otherwise very much required?
Vestibular apparatus.
Very good. Okay, this question is damn important. Don't forget it. Okay, and yeah, so I can actually take a little more in depth regarding how this balancing happens, but it is not necessary. Okay, so I am not going into it. So there are basically sensory cells called as otolith. And what will happen is when you are turning upside down and all those things, there's a fluid that will be over this particular sensory cell that will move. So as and when it moves, your body will try to bring it back to its original position. That is how you are able to balance. Okay, this is in short of that big mechanism, but it is not important, so we are not getting into it. Okay, but if you see a term otolith, remember it is associated with your ear. Okay, so till now whatever we studied about inner ear is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now the next part is the cochlea part. Okay, so when you talk about, before going into the cochlea part, okay, these membranes are not just stuck to each other. They have some space in between. That is the bony membrane and the bony layer and the membranous layer. Both of them have certain gaps, and these gaps are filled with fluids.
Wait, what, ma'am? Repeat again.
Okay, I'll draw and show you. Okay, so like, can you see the cochlea part? 1 second. I'll just zoom in first. Are you not this? So if you see the inside portion of the cochlea, okay, that is this particular region here. Okay. So if I draw it, I can draw it like this. 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay. Or a YouTube I can draw. So what happens is that these are all having certain like it's like a cavity. Okay. So there is fluid inside the cavity and there is fluid outside the cavity. Okay. So to be appropriate, like 1 second. So let us assume that this, I'll change the color. This is the this is the bony layer. Okay. Now I will draw the membranous layer. Okay. So between this bony layer and the membranous layer, there is a fluid. Okay, there is some fluid. And that fluid is also, it's basically a lymph fluid. Okay. So a similar fluid is also present within the membrane. That is within your, this particular membrane. Inside also there is a fluid. Okay. So the one that is on the outside will be called as perilymph, and the one that is enclosed within the membrane will be called as endolymph. This is a difference. Okay. So when you talk about the structure, your inner ear structure, outer is bony, inner is membrane. But between the bony and the membrane, there is another space, and that space is filled with a fluid, and that fluid is called as perilymph.
Wait, inside the bony labyrinth?
Between the bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth. There is a fluid layer that covers it, and that is called as perilymph. Okay, and then this particular, whatever fluid is present within the membranous labyrinth, it is called as endolymph. Did you get the difference between perilymph and
perilymph is surrounding the membrane is this thing.
Correct, yes.
Endo is inside the membrane is this thing.
Yes, correct, yes.
From May 1st, everyone above 18 can be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Gone, pakka, they'll keep board exam now.
No, they won't. Okay, and also the coiled portion of your labyrinth is called as cochlea.
Coiled portion of labyrinth is called cochlea.
Cochlea, yes, we saw that. No, the other portion was vestibular apparatus, and other than that, what else is a coiled portion? Cochlea. So you can on a whole tell that inner ear consists of vestibular apparatus and cochlea. And the lymph that is surrounded around the membranous labyrinth is called as?
The lymph.
Surrounding the membranous labyrinth.
Oh, the surrounding is called perilymph.
And inside the membranous labyrinth?
Endolymph.
So if you go inside the cochlea, what kind of fluid will you be able to find?
This thing. What do you call it? This thing, endolymph.
Endolymph, very good. Got the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll go to the inner part of the cochlea. So the inner part of the cochlea can be like basically divided into 3 regions. Okay, so I'll show you this. Okay, so basically how that is divided is the cochlea has some space in between. No, so let me just zoom it. Okay, can you see the image now?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is basically the inner structure of the cochlea. Okay, so these spaces are called as scala. All these 3, you can see this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. The space that is on the top is called scala vestibula. And it opens at the oval window. So that means the air that enters into the inner ear will first enter into the which portion of the cochlea?
That what did you just say? The
Scala vestibuli.
Scala vestibuli.
Yes. Then the bottom portion here, this one, the third one, This is called a scala tympani.
Oh,
What is it called?
okay. Scala tympani.
So where does the scala tympani open into?
Vestibuli. No.
See, scala vestibuli is the opening of scala vestibuli is oval window. So the third one is scala tympani. So where will it open? Where does the air?
Wait, scala, what?
My question is, I told you two windows, remember?
Scala vestibuli.
No, windows, the openings.
Oh, oval and round.
Oval and round, correct? Through which the air enters? Oval or round?
Air leaves through round.
It enters into the oval and leaves through the round,
Round.
correct? Now, oval window will open into which cavity of the cochlea?
Oval window opens into the vestibuli, scala vestibuli.
Very good. So, after the vestibuli, there is one middle layer, and after the middle layer, the air will go to the third layer and it has to go out. So, the third layer is called scala tympani. So, which window will scala tympani open into?
Round.
That's it. Got it? And the middle layer is called scala media. Is this concept clear? The membrane that is covering the scala vestibuli is called Resiner's membrane.
The membrane.
The membrane that covers the scala vestibuli, that is a top cavity, is called as Resiner's membrane.
Oh.
And the one that is in the covering your scala media is called as basilar membrane.
Oh.
On the top you have Resiner's membrane, on the bottom you have basilar membrane. That's it.
Oh. Bottom
Okay.
is?
It's basilar membrane.
Okay.
Okay.
So many
now,
names for today. So complicated.
It's actually easy. Okay. So first you need to remember cochlea has three regions: vestibuli, media, tympani. Okay. Oval window will lead to vestibuli. Then the air will go to the media. From media, it will go to tympani. And tympani will open at which window?
Tympani will open to base this thing.
What window that is?
Round window.
Okay. Now the thing is, in the scala media membrane, there will be something called as organ of Corti. Okay. This organ of Corti is nothing but just sensory cells. Okay. So how it will look like is, it will have some sensory cells like this. These sensory cells will have cilia on top of it. There will be a membrane called tectorial membrane over it. Okay. So when the air comes, this tectorial membrane will start vibrating. When that vibrates, this particular sensory cell will start sensing it. And it will take the information to the brain. There is an auditory nerve that goes from these sensory cells. It will take the information to the brain. That's it. There's nothing there much to understand. So whatever I said is what here. See here. Can you see the cells? This portion? Yes. And can you see this top membrane that is there? That membrane is called tectorial membrane. What is it called?
Tectorial membrane.
Tectorial membrane. It lies over the cells, the sensory cells. Okay. Now, whenever the tectorial membrane will vibrate, the sensory cell will receive the stimulus and take it to the brain via the auditory nerve. These are your auditory nerves. This one, this yellow color ones.
Okay.
You can see that? Yeah. And that will go to the brain. So that part of the part of the ear which helps you in hearing is cochlea. Is this clear till here? Any doubt? Because
but so complicated. The names I should revise.
What happened?
So complicated. The names I should revise.
Yes, it's not complicated because you're hearing it for the first time. It's difficult, but it's a very chappa session. Wait.
Wow. But too many names, no, that's why.
No, this diagram I think is there in your textbook, and if there is a diagram, there are chances that they can ask you. So I've sent you the PPT. Okay, so you can have a look at it, and yeah, so you can learn. So just go through it. Any doubt right now from whatever we discussed?
Huh?
Okay, just explain whatever you understood till now. I'll
Ma'am,
listen to it.
ma'am.
Yeah, from the top, whatever you
Your
understood.
pinna, all that voice will go eardrum, then malleus, then incus, then stapes, then after that it'll go to inner ear, round and oval window on top. It will take the air, round window will leave out the air. Then round window will go to that vestibular tubuli. What is that? The name I forgot, ma'am.
Which one? Vestibular apparatus.
No. That is no. Vestibular apparatus is the ampulla. Those vestibular apparatus is the ampulla. Those headphones, and then scapula, and one more.
Scapula illa sacculus.
Sacculus and one more.
Utricle.
Utricle, sacculus, and the ear vestigial.
Vestibular apparatus. What is the function of vestibular apparatus?
Balancing.
Then what is the next thing that you learn?
Then we learned this thing, those round and this thing. What do you call it? Round and oval window. Round window is connected to something, that will connect it one more thing, and then that will connect to the round. Also, oval window is connected to one thing, that will connect to another thing, that will connect back to the round window to leave
What
out
is
all
the things? What are the things called as?
vestibuli, something first part.
Then
Second part
what
is
are they? They're membrane, cavity. What is it?
membrane.
It's a cavity. Membranous
Sorry.
cavity.
Membranous cavity.
Okay. Then
That's all we learned.
what are the layers? Scalar, vestibular on the top, at the bottom.
Something T. It starts with T. Second word starts. Timpani. Yeah.
And then middle is
basic something. It's the base.
No, middle is media.
The base one.
That is a basilar membrane that covers it.
Yeah,
And
basilar.
the in cochlea, which is the organ that helps you in hearing. It's organ of Corti. Don't forget it. Okay, that entire organ we studied, no, tectorial membrane, the cells and all together, it's called as organ of Corti. So if your organ of Corti is not functioning properly, you can't hear. Is this clear? Okay, I'll ask you a question now. Photosensitive compound in human eye is made up of. I told you this is very important when I taught you.
Rods and cones.
Nah.
What photosensitive?
Compounds in human eye is made up of. Rods and cones are your photosensitive, but what are they made up of?
Options.
Opsin and retinol, transducin and retinane, guanosin and retinol, opsin and retinal.
Opsin retinal.
Retinal or retinol?
Nal.
Very good. I'm glad you remember. What is made up of what? Like,
what, ma'am?
What kind of opsin do you find in rods and what kind of opsin do you find in cones?
What kind of?
Opsin you find in rod. Opsin is a protein, no? So what kind of opsin you find in rods and what kind of opsin you find in cones?
I only don't know. Rhodopsin.
Very good.
Rhodopsin in rods. Just opsin in cones.
Iodopsin.
Iodopsin. Okay.
Myelin sheath is produced by what type of cell?
Myelin sheath is produced by this thing, no?
I'll tell you the options. Astrocytes and Schwann cells, oligodendrocyte and osteoclasts, osteoclasts and astrocytes, Schwann cells and oligodendrocytes.
I know oligodendrocytes and one more cell. Ma'am, what are the options still?
Astrocyte and Schwann cells.
No.
Oligodendrocyte and osteoclast.
No.
Osteoclast and astrocytes.
No.
Schwann cells and oligodendrocytes.
Schwann cell oligodendrocytes.
Yes. And in this option, whatever cells I told, no, all are types of glial cells. You remember we studied about glial cells?
What cells?
Glial cells. I told you. Yeah, there other than neurons, there are also other type of cells called glial cells.
Yeah, they're present in brain and this thing, no.
Yeah, that they are the ones who protect and do the functions of dividing and repairing for the neurons.
Okay, ma'am.
And oligodendrocyte and Schwann cells are actually types of glial cells. Okay. Yes, receptor sites for neurotransmitter are present on presynaptic membrane, tips of axon, postsynaptic membrane, membranes of synaptic vesicles.
What, ma'am?
Receptor sites for
Hmm.
neurotransmitters are present
Mhm.
on
Receptor sites
presynaptic
for
membrane,
neurotransmitters are present on.
presynaptic membrane, tips of axons, postsynaptic membrane, membranes of synaptic vesicles.
Ma'am, repeat.
1 second, raw.
Yeah, I don't know, ma'am. This
We learned this, raw.
synaptic knobs.
No, I even told you about these receptors.
Mm.
So in the presynaptic gap, what will happen is the neurotransmitters will be released. These neurotransmitters will bind with the receptors which are present in the postsynaptic membrane.
Oh.
Ah, I told this is important. நிறைய வாட்டி கேட்டிருக்காங்கன்னு.
Ma'am, let me revise, ma'am. Then you ask me, ma'am.
No, no. This is why. So whenever I'm telling you something is important, please make sure you're learning it properly. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise,
I'm done, ma'am. Done for
gonna
today.
be
Too much we learned today.
difficult. Wait. I just wanted to ask. Anterior horn cells. இப்போ அதெல்லாம் வேணாம். Okay. The 16th question. Label the parts.
Oh, easy.
Tell me.
16th, no?
Yeah.
Ma'am, diagram is black and white. Oh, okay. Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Zoom பண்ணு.
Okay. D is, ma'am, B is this thing, corpus callosum.
B is not corpus callosum.
Oh, wait, ma'am, not B, ma'am, not B. Ma'am, C, ma'am.
I am seeing only. Tell me.
A is cerebrum.
A is cerebrum. Correct. Okay.
Correct.
Correct
C
only.
is
Cerebrum only.
pons. C is pons.
C is pons. Correct.
D is this thing. What is that called? Ma'am, B and D, I know, ma'am. It's the word is not coming to my mouth. Wait, ma'am.
Oh. Okay, wait.
Ma'am, D is.
It's
D
there in the
is,
options, da.
Ma'am, D is. D
It
is
rhymes with bell.
bello.
It rhymes with bell.
Cerebellum. And C is this thing, obviously. C is pons.
What is B?
B is this thing. Obviously, the B one is correctly, if you see, B is thalamus.
Correct. Yes. So out of this, what is the right option?
A cerebrum, C pons.
Okay. Very good.
Done, ma'am. Enough for today, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey. Sorry. Okay. For tomorrow we can continue. No problem. Cool. Then see you tomorrow. Same time, no? 8 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am. 8, 7:30 like that. I'll tell you like at 7 only when we'll start.
Yeah. But the problem is she doesn't turn up fast. That's a problem. Otherwise, again, tomorrow I have to waste like half an hour.
Ma'am, don't worry, ma'am. Tomorrow we'll do something. We'll tell her we might join.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Good night.